of the Motor City, y'all. Detroit fan forum, we answer the call. From the grit and the grind to the wins we embrace. We showing mad love, let's set the pace. From downtown lights to the neighborhood crew. Red Wings, Pistons, Tigers.
Hey, welcome back to the Fan Forum. I'm Mark. With me is not Hitch again, but what I wanted to do is come on here and get everybody amped up for the Bears game. I feel like right now the tone in the Motor City has gotten a little quiet. It's gotten weak, really. I'm really getting sick and tired of turning on the radio, turning the TV on, pulling up my phone, going through Bleacher Report, and just seeing negativity on the Lions. I saw something pop up on YouTube about the Lions are fake. This team is 12-2. This team has battled through injuries. What about this team is fake? Did everybody know that Amon-Ra St. Brown had a flu game? He was throwing up before that game. Almost had 200 yards of receiving. I think it was one of his best games ever. Fake. Sick and tired of that. There's nothing fake about this team. There's nothing fake about the coach either. It just bothers me to no end that a football team, a city, a state hasn't been relevant. I don't want to say the 90s. I guess, yeah, the 90s. The Barry Sanders era was relevant, but I'm really talking like relevant to winning championships. Never. We're talking the 50s. We're talking 53, 54. We're talking Cold War era. Before the NFL was the NFL. And now we have a team that's as real as can be. Hitch and I have gone over Brad Holmes and his ability to draft over and over again. His ability to bring in free agents. His ability to overcome adversity. Dan Campbell, there's not an ounce of doubt you need to have with that man. I was just getting shown tapes of him coaching his tight ends at Miami and how passionate he was about blocking. This guy's been real since he was on the team. We know who Dan Campbell is. We know who Brad Holmes. What's fake about this team? What's not real about this team? That's what I want to know. So it got me thinking. I will tell you what a fake team looks like. I'll tell you what a fake fan base looks like. That's the Chicago Bears. They're nothing but fake. They're nothing but made up. They're useless. They're not even a football team. Their players have quit on them. Since they've played the Lions and lost, their players have quit on them. Now you just go look back at all of their games. And do you really blame them? Your coach got shit canned immediately for what was probably the biggest, I don't know, middle school level, Pop Warner level football mistake known to mankind of clock management at the end. I mean, that was a joke. All right, let's get back to the bigger point right now. This franchise that we're seeing right now with the Bears, I would probably say is at an all-time low. They had Urlacher. They had sexy Rexy Grossman. I'm going to bring this up. Hitch, you're missing a prime opportunity to talk about Jay Cutler because they had the Jay Cutler and the Alshon Jeffrey connection. They had the Devin Hester, Lance Briggs. That was 2006, guys. And prior to that, that was the 85 Bears, the Super Bowl shuffle. I mean, what a joke. So as a fan base, I think we all need to just say, let's be honest. At least we're not the Bears right now. So I don't want to hear any of this negativity. I don't want to hear the injury talk. I don't want to hear that the Super Bowl season's over with. It's a 12-2 team. We're talking about a freaking 12-2 Lions team that's guaranteed to make the playoffs. And in my opinion, well, not in my opinion, they're favored to win the NFC. They're favored to get home field advantage. So I just challenge everybody to think about it. Think about the last time we saw this team. This team actually was ready to be somebody. This Bears team thought they were going to compete. And that's why the NFC, at this point in time, when we saw them, Thanksgiving, which wasn't too long ago, we saw them and it was the Bears, the Packers, the Lions, the Vikings. The division itself is untouchable, right? They're all reputable teams, not to be messed with. Well, what we just watched was the Lions ending the hopes for the Bears' future. I feel like this season is going to give the ownership of the Chicago Bears an opportunity to clean house, even especially with their general manager. I would say not only when your fan base gave up, you're not really giving much of these players to play for. So what does that mean for the Lions? Is this an easy game? No, I want to see them run the score up. This is something where if there was ever a game for your defense to have the pressure taken off of them, this is the game. Now, Caleb Williams hasn't really been throwing interceptions, and I wouldn't say he's been the problem, but he's not the answer. So I'm going to challenge this Lions defense. You're playing against a rookie quarterback who lost his head coach midseason. His team's given up. He's not used to losing. And he hates the cold weather. Have fun with it. That's the funny thing. We're playing at Soldier Field. I don't see this for me. I don't see this for the Lions as a true away game. And I really don't think they're a team that really feeds off of home field advantage as much as we think. Now, obviously in the playoffs, that's a whole different conversation to have. That's where it really means something. But right now, especially going to that Bills game, they appreciate the love, but it's not the only thing that drives them. I think all of those players have a little bit of internal fight that they all have their own story. Look for a guy like St. Brown to play through the flu. Montgomery played through his MCL tear, which now all of a sudden, according to his doctor who gave him a third opinion, he may potentially be back. So that seems to be, I guess you'd want to call it breaking news. After the Lions running back David Montgomery spent the last few days consulting with medical experts, sources are now optimistic that the star avoided the season-ending surgery that he was initially fearing. He's going to rehab it and see how it goes. I mean, this is 4 hours ago as of M Live. So that's positive. Doesn't sound like we really need him to for the next couple games. After reviewing some stats with Gibbs and watching Gibbs perform without Montgomery there, I think I'm really confident in that. We're spoiled, really, with the Sonic and Knuckles combination. And I think this is an opportunity for Craig Reynolds, who, again, Hitch loves any football player with the last name Reynolds. But this is another player, I think this is going to be the one where we get that Tim Patrick production from him. And what I mean by that is it's a player who is asking for a spot in the spotlight. His opportunity comes, and he shows up in a big way. That's what I mean by the Tim Patrick comparison. I'm confident in what Craig Reynolds can do. Is he David Montgomery to the fullest? No, but he only really needs to be Knuckles 1.0. So, folks, this game is a game that I don't want people to lose sight of. I also don't want you to watch it too comfortable. The NFL is enjoying the negativity right now, I think, with the Lions. So they're going to try and give us any reason for. Let's see what they're saying for a game preview. Because I'll tell you what, right now, I'm real curious to see what they're going to set the line at. Let's pull it up. I hate these pop-up blockers. So everyone's kind of calling 30-20. They're get through these ads. These ads are just absolutely obnoxious. Makes you not even want to use the internet. 6.5. -6. Lions -6.5. Okay. So Vegas is giving us a little respect. Let's see. Over under 48. The money line -300 Lions, +240 Bears. Okay. So that's as of 4 hours ago, I think, as of according to USA Today. And even they're citing Chicago's continuing to spiral out after a poor game on Monday night. Hey, they've got their losing streak. That's another good point. Thanks, USA Today. Chicago's on an 8-game losing streak, something I think we can keep going. So let's get that losing streak to 9 games. It's possible. It's got to happen. Now let's talk about how we want to see this offense come out. How do I want to see this offense operate, right? If you listen to the past, I don't know, 16, 14 episodes, everything that I've said, everything that we've said is run the ball, run the freaking ball, right? Does everybody not want to see us do the opposite, though? It's going to look different when I say run the ball. I don't really want to see us come out of the typical playbook, play style calling now that Gibbs is our lead back, right? I want us to peel that onion back a little bit more. We can't start the game out slow. We can't expect our defense to go out there and make a big statement. Are we capable of doing it against this Bears offensive line and Caleb Williams? Absolutely. But please do not make that the basis of how you're starting your game. If you're going to make anything the basis of starting your game, it's scoring a touchdown on less plays as possible. 2 plays. Try to score a touchdown in 2 plays on your first drive. How about that? That's what I want to see you guys do. With Jared Goff at the helm, and you've got Jamo, St. Brown, Tim Patrick, Sam Laporta, do something big. Do something explosive. Do something to give the Lions fans a breathing treatment. Please. Please do something big. I need to see a big play. It doesn't even have to be a trick play. It doesn't have to be, the triple reverse. It doesn't have to be the annexation of Puerto Rico, right? It can just be a bomb to Jamo over the top. We know what he's capable of doing. Bomb the ball to Jamo. I don't know what else to tell you. But I want to see these soldiers come out ready to fight. Don't even give Chicago Bears fans a reason to take to social media in the first half. Give them a reason to throw their phones away. Give them a reason to get rid of that Caleb Williams jersey they should have never bought and put on their Matt Forte jersey. Do that, please. For the love of God. Then it puts us in a great position to go play out in the West Coast. That's really what I want to see. A nice, long, comfortable plane ride for them to heal up after whooping the Bears. I mean, we had linebacker from the Niners quit and just say, I'm not playing on your team. Who's to say that's not going to happen in Chicago too? I mean, these are the next two teams we're playing. We're playing a team where one of their players who's been waiting for an opportunity to play quits on the team. Just quits. Nullifies lots of money to play a sport. It's wild. So we stood the test with Buffalo. We hung in there. Like I said, we just got out game planned. So let's go out game plan then in Chicago. And then we out game plan Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. And then we outplay and out game plan Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. Like that's just what we get back to. Actually, I think we get back to actual grit football. I think that's what we're going to get back to. That's what that humbled game against Buffalo did for us. It put us in a situation where it got everybody kind of back to reality. And I think that's a big thing that can happen not only in the real world too, but in professional sports. Especially when you're playing for a team like the Lions where you're on an 11-game win streak and this city doesn't know how to relax. And that pressure gets heavy on those players too. So make them throw away their Matt Forte jersey too. Make them go put on their Jim McMahon jersey. And then ask them what they were doing in 85 when the Bears won. Yeah, Kyle, I'm looking at you. Ponce. What do you know about Mike Ditka, Ponce? It's ruined that SNL skit for me. When I was younger, that actually used to be funny. Couldn't they have picked another fan base or another team, but then the frickin' Bears? I guess it's better than the Eagles, because I hate the Eagles more than I hate the Bears. I absolutely cannot stand the Eagles. Matter of fact, who are the Eagles playing this week? That's something that my Pittsburgh Steeler buddies couldn't take care of, which I'm really hurt. I had a lot of faith that you guys would have that ability to do so. That one's on you, Franco. Okay, so the Eagles are playing the Commanders. Now, this is going to be a really good game to watch at 1 o'clock, too. If I wasn't a Lions fan, that's probably the game I'd be watching because the Commanders are nothing to mess with. And I think the Commanders are a better version of what the Eagles want to be and what they think they are. So I really just like... Let's pull up some stats. I like the options on that one. Well, the time is here. So, one pride. See ya.
Welcome to the heart of the Motor City, y'all. Detroit fan forum, we answer the call. From the grit and the grind to the wins we embrace. We showing mad love, let's set the pace. From